Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Stokastic.com NFL MLB, one of those. Live before lock. NFL would have made sense. NBA, that's just out of left field. Long night, long morning. Anyway, glad to have you guys here. We've got a good one today. A little early slate action. I feel like we haven't had any good early slates lately. This is a decent one. You got a 4-game slate. Thank you to DraftKings for actually including this 12:35 game. That would have been very dumb for them not to have done so, right? 3-game slate would have been dumb for them not to include the 12:35. So definitely helpful. Little 3-game slate. Some good pitching on this one too. Actually, you don't typically see a 3-gamer where you've got, a good amount of quality pitchers. So we're going to work our way through this one. It's the 3:00 game that was removed or that wasn't included, which makes sense. But you've got Framber Valdez against Detroit. Not exactly the best matchup for a left-handed pitcher, but still a good pitcher nonetheless. Obviously Detroit hits lefties well. But you've got Jesus Lazardo at home. Has this guy been a roller coaster ride or what this year? I mean, truly, no idea what to expect, but more often than not, I lean towards Jesus Lazardo being good. Having some rough luck. With runners on, he's been much worse than with the bases clean. But nevertheless, $8,400 Jesus Lazardo. You kind of have to consider that spot as well. Actually, you absolutely have to consider Jesus Lazardo today. Chris Bassett against Pittsburgh. Dude has been terrible away from home, but it's a good matchup against the bad Pittsburgh team in a very favorable park for pitchers. Charlie Morton against Houston, and then Luis Castillo against the Philadelphia Phillies. So we'll dive into all of that. But first and foremost, glad to have you guys here. If you don't mind, take a single second this fine morning. Atone for your sins. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Everything is free to do. Can you believe that? Who would have thought? You could subscribe to the Stokastic DFS channel and hit that thumbs up to show your unwavering support of everyone here, and you don't get charged a cent. By God, life is good. Of course, if you're watching or listening after the fact, like I said, leave a comment too. Appreciate you guys for that. Gerald Brown. Morning, Loughy. Yesterday was a good day. Good, man. Good morning to all of you guys. Happy to have you guys here. This is a early slate show because whenever we've got a show or a slate like this, 3+ games, we break down the early slate. If it's 2 games, what I typically do is I try and break the show up. I'll do a little bit on the 2-gamer and then we'll hit the main slate. But fret not, live before lock tonight for a big main slate. Really interesting main slate from the small look I've taken this far. This is a good one tonight, so make sure to tune in for Greg and Eric on Live Before Lock. But yeah, let's have some fun. Let's get into it. It's again, when you look at this slate, you have a bunch of pitchers here that, and of course you have Johan Oviedo going against Toronto. But the thing about Toronto, and we all know this, right? We've talked about it. We've harped on this all year long. And yes, I know there will be outlier performances where Toronto does strike out and opposing pitchers end up having quality starts against them, right? Yeah, it can happen. But let's not just ignore that Toronto's been a better team than anyone would have anticipated this year, right? No one's saying we thought Toronto would be bad. I did not expect Toronto to be sitting atop the AL East with like 35 games to play. Not only are they atop the AL East, they're 5 games ahead of the Yankees, 6 games ahead of the Red Sox. It's crazy. You know what else I was looking at the other day? Whether or not anyone cares, unimportant. But, you talk about like home and road splits in sports, and sometimes it's like, well, they don't matter all that much. Some of them do matter, some of them don't. Dude, I was looking at the home and road records for the MLB this year. There were 6 teams that had a winning record on the road. How crazy is that? Like the Mets above 500 on the season by 9 games. Very bad on the road. Just go like next time. Maybe it's changed now, but there were like 6 teams that were above 500 on the road this year, which is really just crazy. Like Toronto, great record. They're 500 on the road. That wouldn't. Yankees below 500. Boston, that entire division is below 500 on the road. Pretty wild. I mean, yeah, home and road splits, sure. But would you expect it to be that dramatic? Like I would have thought, say let's just say for the sake of argument, there's 15 teams with a record above 500. I wouldn't have expected the splits from home and road to be that significant. But anyway, unrelated. Luis Castillo has been much worse outside of T-Mobile. Chris Bassett's been much worse outside. I guess this is related. Much worse away from the Rogers Center. Framber Valdez home and on the road this year. Much worse away from home. 1.85 ERA at home, 4.10 on the road. Just weird stuff. Lazardo's been the same. Charlie Morton's another one of those guys. Pretty much the same. Granted, he hasn't been with Detroit all year. But yeah, Luis Castillo much worse away from home, which is not surprising given T-Mobile is a pitcher's haven. But yeah, we can get into all of this. And we'll also do home run roulette. Yesterday, the old plus 550 had to take somebody that has homered in 2 straight games. And what do? We hit it at plus 550. Damn, dude. Damn. Jurickson Profar. Yeah, we'll get there. Anyway. Kingman, I'm loading up on bats in the Seattle-Philly game. That's interesting. Well, yeah, I think you could do that. I think you could also play both pitchers from that game. I know Castillo hasn't been great away from home. I just mentioned it, but assuming the weather isn't a huge problem here, then this game would look actually pretty good for pitching. Only 74 degrees, overcast. Not the best hitting weather at all. But we'll see. We'll play that one by ear. It doesn't look that great. There is, I'm trying to see here. It's an early game, right? So, a lot of times teams can just wait it out. And if you can wait it out, you see them do it all the time. Let's not forget a prolonged delay or delay pregame would be much, much better than this game getting delayed after it starts. If it gets delayed after it starts, that sucks because there's very little chance either pitcher comes back out. But if they delay it before it starts and then they just find the window later in the day, I think they'd be good. Now, it looks like they should be okay here. Also, again, this is a inter-league game. 2 teams on literally the opposite side of the country. You don't just casually make this game up. Like, it doesn't happen. So you got to find a way to get this game in, and I think they will. They probably will be okay. They'll probably be okay. But the other thing is they're both off tomorrow. Right? They're both all actually, let's see. I think the Seattle Mariners are going back home after this. Yeah, they're both off tomorrow. So would they try and get it in tomorrow? I still think they try and play. I think they try and get this game in prior to the rain coming in. And quite frankly, it wouldn't really matter much to us if it got, if it was like 7th inning hits. It'd suck if Lazardo's cruising, but I'm not sure how bad it would be. Looking at the radar right now, I'm going to pretend that I know what I'm talking about here. It doesn't look that bad, honestly. Let's see. All right, so we hit 1 o'clock. This is the 105 game, right? We hit 1 o'clock. It seems all right, at least for a period there. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and give it the green light. You guys do what you please. I'm going to play it. And what else are you supposed to do? 2 great pitching options. Also, I think possibly some sneaky good hitting potential here, because when Lazardo does fall apart, he falls apart. So, yeah. Castillo hasn't been great, but I still think he's fine here. The Phillies are also, you look at a team like this, they're very susceptible to just going out there and getting fully blanked across 9 innings. Right? I like both pitchers in this game. I'm not fully opposed to going to bats on either side either. And I don't think they'll be all that popular. We can pull up the top stacks tool here over at Stokastic.com. Philly, 5.1 run implied total. That's really high. The Seattle, 4.4 against Lazardo, 15% ownership. Really not a lot at all for a 3-game slate. Toronto, the most popular stack here. And Lee, yeah, look, the bats did wake up. Philly bats have clearly woken up. Despite the bullpen doing everything they can to try and lose them these games, they're clawing back and producing enough scoring to kind of mitigate the damage that the bullpen's doing. But, yeah, clearly you're looking at Toronto here against Oviedo. I think, Philly against Luis Castillo, really not a bad spot, but he's also not bad either. Like, even when you look at his road splits, they're not good, but he's still only allowed 8 home runs in 60 innings away from home. He's still done a pretty decent job of limiting the long ball. And when you're talking about a team like Philly, they thrive on home runs. That isn't to say he can't go out there and just give up like 3 home runs today. It's entirely possible. We saw Logan Gilbert go out there, a very good pitcher. Again, pretty extreme home road splits, but still a better overall pitcher than Castillo. And he got tuned up quite nicely at Citizens Bank Park on Monday. So, Castillo's not impervious to this whatsoever. What I want to know is where you guys plan on going, and we're going to bounce around on this slate. We're not going to do it how we typically do since it's a 3-gamer. We're just try and take an all-encompassing approach here. This one's for you guys in the chat. What do you want to do with Detroit against Framber Valdez? To me, this is one of the more interesting spots. Most expensive pitcher on the slate on DraftKings, at least by $1,200. He has not looked himself recently. Still getting a lot of ground balls, but the strikeouts have deteriorated. He did have 6 last time out against Baltimore, but they're terrible against lefties. 1 against the Yankees, 3 against Boston. This could just be a little blip on the radar. He can pitch deep into games, but he's giving up runs. He's giving up a lot of hits. 24 hits over his last 3 starts. Over his last 18 innings. Doesn't give up a lot of home runs, though. But Detroit is a scary offense. Unquestionably a scary offense when you're a left-handed bat or a pitcher. Winds blowing out to right center at 11 miles per hour. 72 degrees, so nothing crazy there. Max, I haven't looked at our stack exposure yet. I'm very curious to see where that lands. Austin, feels like a game where Framber doesn't K many, but doesn't give up much. Very possible. Yeah, let's see what ownership looks like, Fistula, on Framber, because you're right. Pitching ownership is going to make a massive difference on this slate. Like, if you've got a certain pitcher getting huge ownership on a 3-gamer, it can make a difference. Lazardo's getting a lot. Framber's getting 48%. Honestly, Seattle stacks seem really intriguing today. Only because Lazardo has this propensity to get blown up. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. By the way, how good is Christopher Sanchez? Like, how is he not the most unheralded pitcher in the league? I'll throw Nathan Eovaldi in there for Texas too. No one ever talks about him. He's awesome. But how is Christopher Sanchez, outside of those of us who like pay attention to baseball daily, how is this guy? He's been better than Zach Wheeler this season. Sounds crazy, right? He has been the best, most consistent pitcher on the Philadelphia Phillies all season long. All season. But you never hear him in that same conversation. You should. He hasn't pitched fewer than 6 innings since May. Whatever. Besides the point. You look at a guy like Lazardo. Can Lazardo get tuned up today? I absolutely think he can. You know, if he starts getting runners on and he gets BABIP'd a little bit, things could turn south very quickly. And you've got a Seattle Mariners team that has the second best ISO against lefties. A 106 WRC plus, top 10, 341 weighted on base average, 4th. Now, the tricky part here is that Lazardo also looks, and this isn't me sitting on the fence. This is a matter of fact. Seattle has the 4th highest strikeout rate against lefties as well. And, you know, that to me can't be ignored. We saw Christopher Sanchez punch out, what was it, 12 of them yesterday in 6 and a third innings. We saw Ranger Suarez 2 games ago strike out 10 Mariner bats in 6 2/3 innings. So Lazardo might not be the most prolific strikeout pitcher in the world, but this guy's got decent strikeout stuff. We're talking 27% K rate. Where does that rank among qualified pitchers? Probably, it's got to be like top 15, right? Probably top 15 among qualified pitchers. So how do we ignore that? It's impossible. Now I'm curious. Let's see. Lazardo is 13th in K rate. I think the craziest part about him, given how many times we've seen him get blown up, is that he's still 12th in xFIP. 12th in xFIP. And I think he's got like the highest BABIP in the league. Yep. Highest BABIP in the league along with Logan Webb. And you look at strand rate, Lazardo's left on base rate, strand rate is 14th lowest. So, I mean, clearly he's had some bad luck. Clearly. I like both sides of this game a lot. King Mana, I don't think Lazardo's as good as them two, though. That's not what I'm saying. He's also 8,400. I'm not saying he's as good as them. I'm saying that he's better than, like, all right, here's an example. You look at xFIP this year, right? Zach Wheeler has the 3rd lowest xFIP in the league. Christopher Sanchez has the 5th lowest. And Lazardo has the 12th lowest. So clearly Wheeler and Sanchez have been better. But there's no denying that he's up there. Matter of fact, if you were to take unqualified pitchers, Suarez is probably up there as well with how he's pitched. But anyway, I think both of these guys look good. The Stack and Lazardo. Now, if you're playing a lot of lineups, why would you not want to get exposure to both? I actually want to see if we're getting any in the Sims. Malcolm, the $8,400 price tag really helps Lazardo look good, no question. Yeah, because you also have Valdez at 9,600 against Detroit. I'm a big fan of his. You know, not many guys can give you a 25% K rate and a league best ground ball rate. It's just kind of unicorn style as a pitcher. You don't get that very often. But matter of fact, Christopher Sanchez is similar in that regard. A lot of ground balls, a lot of strikeouts. But that 8,400 is going to open things up. It's going to make it easier to play him. Mr. Hill, Mariners' third game in a row seeing a lefty starter. That concerns me. I just simply have a lot of lefty starters in the Phillies, right? Sanchez, Suarez, and Lazardo. Lazardo good already with, yeah. Lazardo's 10-3 on FanDuel, yeah. Anybody getting Oviedo? No, because, first of all, that is a crazy discrepancy in top two pitcher probability. If you guys can see that on the screen. Lazardo 53%, Framber 43%, Bassett 36%, makes sense against Pittsburgh. Morton 33%, Castillo 31.6%, and Oviedo at 3%. Crazy. King Mana, that will hurt them in the playoffs. 3 lefties like that. Why? I mean, it really depends on who you're facing, don't you think? Yeah, I mean, Oviedo's made what? 1 appearance this season through 1 inning, 43 pitches. Did anyone watch that game? Did it actually take him 43 pitches to throw 1 inning? Or did he throw an inning and come back out for the second, couldn't record an out, so he only has 1 inning on the record? No matter how you cut it, that's terrible. No, even if he did look okay and was fully stretched out, you're still going up against a team that has a league low 16% K rate against righties. There's just very few redeeming qualities here outside of the ballpark. Aside from that, Toronto's a good team, a good offense. They put the ball in play. Oviedo's thrown 43 pitches. What's the upside there? I just don't see it. Oh, not to mention that we've seen Oviedo before. And it's not like this guy was some elite character prior to this year. He threw 177 pitches last year, and he had a 20% flat K rate with a 10.5% walk rate, a 137 whip, and a 487 xFIP. This is not exactly the guy that you want to really roll the dice on when you're already in a tough matchup. So I don't think that would be sneaky. I think it's probably just a bad idea, but to each his own. Anyway, looking at the Sims here. Are we getting any Seattle is my first question. 7, 8, 9, 10. So like 13% Seattle. Where's our highest stack exposure coming? Okay, Houston. Houston against Charlie Morton. Interesting. Now, Charlie Morton's no stranger to giving up power. You've got winds blowing out to right center, which is definitely helpful against a right-handed arm. That's a lot of Houston, though. Is Houston just not getting the ownership? 18%, not a ton, 4.8 total. Essentially tied with Philly for the second highest top stack probability. All right, I can get on board with that. Going to have a lot of righty-righty matchups here. You know, they don't run out a ton of lefties. Probably going to see only what? Like, including switch hitters, 3 lefties in the lineup. But Charlie Morton this season against righties, 1.5 home runs per 9, 21% K rate. 1.5 home runs per 9 to righties this year. And it's a Houston team that's battling right now with Seattle for that top spot in the AL West. So you go up against a righty in Morton. Got some nice wins there. I could see it. Yeah, I could see it. Houston doesn't strike out much, but they also haven't been all that impressive against righties. 142 ISO is pretty bad. their pitching typically carries them in these type of spots, but I do get it. And Morton is prone to getting rocked at times too. That's actually the weird thing about this slate. Now that I can kind of digest it a little bit, so many of the pitchers on this slate can have really great performances, and at the same time, if they got blown up, it wouldn't surprise you at all. You could say that about Lazardo. Oddly enough, you could say that about Framber Valdez. It's true. Less common, but you could say that about Valdez. You could say that about Morton, right? Like just in his last 8 starts, he has one game with eight earned and another one with 6 earned. And you could absolutely say that about, that was Chris Bassett. You could say it about Morton too. So I'm not really sure there's a stack that's off the table today. And we're not getting a ton of Detroit, not Detroit. Toronto, which I'm not at all surprised that we're going to get underweight on Toronto. If Toronto really is going to be pulling 24% ownership on a 3-game slate, then to me, there's probably reason to get away from them. Houston has the highest stack score on the slate, followed by Toronto, but then none of these, like Philly's not that far behind. Even Pittsburgh against Bassett, it's not the most insane notion. So yeah, like I said, we're going out of order a little bit here, but it is fascinating to see what our stack exposure looks like. And it's a lot of Houston. It's a decent amount of Pittsburgh, some Philly as well. The one thing I would like to do, because we're getting 18% Detroit against Valdez. I'm cool with that. I'd like to get Seattle up around like 20%. I would really like to get, Pittsburgh always does that, Archithelza. What's up, brother? They're always late on that. I'd like to get Seattle up a little bit. Let's see what our pitching exposure is, then see if we can mess around with our exposure caps and our boosts and see if we get Seattle up just a little bit there. You don't have to do this. If you're using the tools, you do it however you like. You guys know how to use the exposure caps, the ROI boosts, and all of that stuff. But it's just one thing to me that would make some sense. On a 3-game slate, am I willing to say, hey, a 60% owned Jesus Lazardo, if he has a bad game, this could work really well for us? You better believe it. We're getting a lot of Lazardo. And again, at 8,400, it makes a lot of sense. It's just, it's never a sure thing. There's no lock on a slate, on any slate, but on a 3-game slate, it can throw you into a tailspin quickly. Framber Valdez, Chris Bassett. Like if you're playing a single entry lineup today, a single lineup, to me, I think being like, hey, screw it. I'm 5-man stacking Seattle or something, right? All right, let me 5-stack Detroit. Just something a little bit different. And I'm not saying any of these stacks are going to be fully unowned on a day where you only have 6 teams going, but you know what I'm saying. Like I probably don't want to go Lazardo, Valdez, chalk with a 5-man Toronto stack. Even if Toronto does well, you're holding hands with so many people. So we're getting a lot of Valdez, Bassett, and Lazardo. Some Morton too. No Oviedo. So we're getting all of these guys. A lot of Lazardo. Let's go ahead and just see what happens if we boost this Mariners stack. See what a 15% boost on the Mariners does for Lazardo and for the Mariners. And of course, guys, you ever want to use these tools, you know what to do. Go get them for free. Oh man, those tools are expensive. Yeah, they are, but because they're good tools. But go get them for free. Click the link in the description that says where you can get them for free by signing up with any of our sportsbook partners. Click claim offer on any of these sportsbooks or pick'em sites if you're not in legal betting states. Make a deposit. It's $5 or $10. Like that's all you got to do. Minimum deposit of $5 or $10, depending on the site. place a bet or set a lineup if you're on a pick'em site, and then just take a screenshot of your first settled bet and your welcome email and email Ron at support@stokastic.com. Tell him what you want. It's that simple. If you're like, oh man, I'm not on Chalkboard yet, I'm not on BetMGM, and I'm not on Sleeper. Number one, you're going to get match deposits, 100% match deposits on all of these, right? Or bonus bets or whatever. You might also win your bets or your lineups, and now you're truly free rolling. But number two, each one of these accounts for a new month. So if you just grabbed a month and then you came back a month later, I'll sign up on Fanatics for $5. Grab another month for the NFL. Grab a month of the NFL Sims. You want PGA or MMA too? Grab another month with Caesars. It's that easy. Count Up TV. I'm already on all of those. Are you on every one of them? Pick Six, FanDuel, Shore, DraftKings, Underdog, Sleeper, Better, BetMGM, Chalkboard, Fanatics, Caesars. There's got to be something out there. Got to be something out there. Anyway, we also add new ones often too, so keep it in mind. But like I'm saying, guys, what an easy way to just grab the tools. And plus, you get the bonus bets, the match deposits, even if you win your bet. Not only are you free rolling, you might be up by the end of the day before you even run your first Sims over what's Stokastic. And as I always say, you can always just DM me at Loughy_D. My handle's right there. If you're looking to grab just a discount, a big discount on the Sims for a week or a month, I got you there too. So just hit me up. Say, hey, I came over from the show, and I'll take care of you. But yeah, a lot of different ways to do it. Anyway, let's look at exposures now. Lazardo comes down to 69%. We had 81% before that. So logic would dictate that if we had 11% Seattle, maybe we have 23% Seattle now. That would only, that's working under the assumption that all of that dip in Lazardo exposure went to Seattle. There you go, 24%. See, I'm cool with that. Still have a lot of exposure to Lazardo, but guess what? Now, if he sucks, you're still over the field on Seattle stacks. Still over the field. Aggressive Goose. Will there be any promos for college football sims? Yes. As a matter of fact, a very good one. I will let you know when that is released shortly. Yeah. We're going to have, we'll have promos for NFL. We actually have a promo currently for NFL. It's just not going to be for everybody, but 10% off the annual NFL Sims package, Sims Max, 10% off of that. It's actually a huge discount when you consider it's the entirety of the season. If you want to grab it and jump in now it's the early bird special, just let me know. Yeah, let me know in chat or DM me or something. I'll get you that code. But it's actually a really big. If you plan on having Sims Max for the whole season for NFL, front load it and just do it now and take a big chunk off of that over the course of the year. That's a big discount. But yeah, Seattle came up a lot. And looking at our lineups, pretty cool to see some of these. Like you have a Lazardo Castillo lineup with Cal Raleigh in it as well. 3-2 Detroit, Pittsburgh. Here's a Houston, Seattle, 5-3 Houston, Seattle, Castillo and Bassett. There's going to be ways to get weird today, no doubt. One of those ways I get weird maybe with some Seattle stacks. Damn, dude. Pittsburgh, Seattle, 4-3. 4-3 Pittsburgh, Seattle with Valdez and Castillo is crazy. How do you not have some interest in getting a little bit different? 5-3 Seattle, Detroit with Bassett and Morton. I just think there has to be some element of that today. If you're just going out there with like every Lazardo Valdez lineup with, Toronto or whatnot, probably going to put you in a unfortunate position. TC, Suarez has been killing me. Yeah, Red Skittles, just hit me up, dude. I'll get you that code. DM me, right? DM me and I'll get it to you. I know you're going to be in on NFL all year, so why not? You came in, was it third or fourth in the Millie last year? It was actually the same week that Rick won the Millie, right? We had 2 avatars in the top 3 or 4, which was awesome. Anyway. Yeah, Lazardo has had some rough games. But if we're being honest, he hasn't really been killing anyone. Like, has he been awesome lately? No, but you look at his DK point performance, 17, 19, 22, 26. That's the last 4 starts. It's not that bad. And he had that 9 and 11, but then a 31, -3, 15, 31, 5, 32. He's truly all over the map, but recently it's not like he's been bad. It's just you get late into those games and he struggles a little bit. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. Look at some exposures. Bring in my friend Josh. As I mentioned, Jerks and Profar, put me over the top. You guys are going to need to do some serious work if you are to come back. That is Josh included. 3 days remain till the end of this 2-week period. Wait, no, is this the 1-week period? No, this is still the 2-week. This is the end of the 2-week period. This would be the end of the 2-week period. So, uphill climb, my friends. Anyway, here we go. Outfield. Tommy Pham. Yeah, I noticed this too. Like Jahmai Jones, 2,900 leading off against the lefty. He's just going to pop up in spots because he's so cheap. Schwarber, this guy's, tracking 50 home runs. Melton, Brian Reynolds, Jesus Sanchez, Tommy Pham for Pittsburgh. Pena, 63% for Houston. Mauricio Dubon, Trey Turner, Correa, Eugenio Suarez. There's another Seattle bat. Kiner Falefa, Pittsburgh. Remember, 3-game slates are going to give you some weird stuff. You got to be different. Altuve, Gonzalez, Gleyber Torres, Christian Walker, Bryce Harper, 20. He's heating up too, huh? Philly's heating up as a team, man. Maybe we just go like 5-3 Seattle, Philly, or Philly, Seattle inverse, and just hope that game pops off. That'd be fun. Cal Raleigh. See, even with Lazardo, 31%. Raleigh, Yanier Diaz, JT Realmuto, another homer yesterday to put them over top. So, yeah, I get it. I get it. All right, let's go. We've got a little home run roulette. We spin the wheel. You jump in, type dinger right now, and within the next minute, one of you guys will be the audience member to grab an opportunity not only to win a possible free month, at the very least a free week of The Sims, and if you want to hold on to it for NFL, you win, go for it. We spin the wheel. Whatever criteria it lands on, you have to pick a home run based off of that. Josh, myself, and you are all among the leaderboards. You have a couple days to close it out. Dude, I'll tell you what, it's funny. We were texting. I was on my way to my hockey game last night, and you and I are texting. I was actually parked getting gas. So not texting and driving, although I likely would have. Shouldn't, but maybe a little voice to text. And I was saying to you how you seemingly got the best wheel spin, but in hindsight, I got the best wheel spin because I only had 2 options of guys who had hit home runs in back-to-back days, and Profar was far and away the easiest option. So I just got funneled there.
Yeah, I got funneled to my favorite pick of the day. And I was like, yes, Marcell Ozuna. I bet it. I took it on Dinger Tuesday. Everything's great. And then I see him launch a ball 400 plus feet. He's out. Home run in 22 of 30 parks. I had it in my fingertips. Ripped away unceremoniously.
Yep.
Heartbreaking, dude.
Happened to me with Marte earlier this week. It is funny though, because you with Profar, like this guy, what did he have? How many home runs did Profar have on the season? So Jurickson Profar has 10 home runs on the season.
4 of them in the last 3 days.
Yeah, granted, he was out for a while, but 4 of his home runs are in the last 3 days.
It's almost like he's back on the steroids.
I hope he is, at least for yesterday. All right. Anyway, let's spin the wheel. Let's pick somebody in chat as well.
Let's do it. I'm just
we got a bunch
heartbroken
of
for
dinger
yesterday.
comments. Bunch of people today. A lot of
We
dinger
do.
comments.
43 active entries, in fact. And the winner for today, Charles F. O'Brien.
That's a new one.
That is a new one. And Charles, your wheel is pretty manageable.
That's nice.
Almost fully yellow. 1 shitty parlay. Otherwise, here we are. So, Charles, this is what you got.
And by the way, if you guys are jumping in late, feel free to go back and watch this from the beginning if you're looking for the analysis. Full slate was broken down moments ago, and you still have just under an hour left. So plenty of time to get all of that information in. If you're sticking around for Home Run Roulette to see what we can make happen, Charles got favorite team only. That's a nice one.
Yeah, by the way, that is a favorite in the game. A betting market favorite, not your personal favorite team.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe your favorite team's a favorite today.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I would lie about it if it needed it to happen. Do you want to go next, or do you want me to have the second one?
2 things. Kyle, early slate only. Yeah, anytime it's a 3+ early slate, 3+ game early slate, it's early slate analysis here, and then live before lock for the main slate later in the day with Greg and Eric. So definitely stick around for that. Also, can we see the leaderboard, please?
Of course.
Man, that was a huge one yesterday at plus 550.
Yeah, it was helpful. You are a plus 138% ROI in this past 7-day stretch. Not too shabby.
I love that you have the win odds. That is incredible.
Yeah. Both ways too. So like, if you want to see it because you had to take some parlays, it's here, but you could also break those down individually.
So 43% chance of winning, 13.7 points. But 43% given my lead right now with 3 days to go, it's actually not that high. Like 28% for you in chat. It's still pretty high.
Chat, by the way, is still in the lead overall right now. They've got you by 1.05 points, and then I am now bringing up the rear by quite a bit.
I don't think those win odds are right.
What do you mean?
Well, if I'm that by 1 point, why would they have 33.3% odds to win and I have 20%? And you have...
Huh?
Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Anyway.
Do you want the next wheel spin, or should I take it?
No, ball me. Let's see. I'm on a roll.
All right, here we go. Reload. Not bad. Spin twice, combine both is what I want here. Again. Come on.
No red.
Something awful
No
for you,
red.
please.
Oh, away team only. All right.
Road team.
Sweet. There we go.
You know who's on the road today?
Who's that?
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
Oh, they're at Coors?
Yeah. And given where you are in the standings, an extra 1.5 points from taking Ohtani or something, not so bad. Although he is pitching today.
I don't want to do that. I'm gonna have some balls here.
All right. Well, I hope that my pick legitimately sucks, because I need to take a big swing now. So
you can take a big swing.
Honestly, I wish I had a shittier board than this. Legitimately.
You can take a big swing with anything now. Like it's
sure, sort of. I mean, like bats first through third's tough to find a
yeah,
real
that could be a
shithead.
little difficult.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Okay. I'll take it.
Hey, look,
450 to 600.
If you hit at plus 600, you've reclaimed the lead.
All right, here we go.
So
Let's find
Charles we'll give Charles a couple minutes.
He's taking Juan Soto, it appears.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kyle, when you asked me about early slate, I thought you were asking, was this show for DFS early slate? No. For home run roulette, it's any game on the day. Slate doesn't matter. Yeah, no, my fault. I thought you were asking, was the analysis from this show only early slate? No, home run can be for anything. We always do for anything.
Yeah. Too restrictive otherwise. Oh, the guy that I wanted to take is missing the line by slightly. I got somebody at plus 425 on DraftKings, but I need plus 450. Rats.
I might go Cal Raleigh against Lazardo.
Can't say I blame you there.
Plus 225. I think I might.
I mean, it does make some sense. Ooh, okay. No, there's no way he's plus 450 today.
Yeah, you can actually lock me in. Cal Raleigh plus 235, against Jesus Lazardo. He has just so you hear this, Josh, I know you're looking, but a 399 ISO against lefties this year.
Well, 390. Sheesh. What did you say the line is?
Plus 235. It's actually nuts to see that. Plus 399 ISO. 17 home runs against lefties.
That's a massive number.
You know what's actually even more insane is that Kyle Schwarber has 17 home runs against lefties, and he's a lefty. That's more impressive than Cal Raleigh. Schwarber,
that's a lot, dude.
Nobody else in the league. So Schwarber and Raleigh have 17 homers each against lefties. No one else has more than 11, and Schwarber is a lefty. That to me is insane.
He's so fun to like. I love Schwarber. I'm a big 3 true outcomes guy. So I was, he's like the modern day Adam Dunn.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, yeah, he is. He really, that compact swing though makes it even better.
Sure. 600. I got my pick. I will be going with Paul DeJong plus 600 today.
Okay.
Taking on Kodai Senga and the Mets.
That is your pick, huh?
Yeah, grading out pretty well in my home run model. Biggest factors, home run rate for DeJong over his last 500 plate appearances, profiling 62% better than league average. And Senga, getting touched up a little bit lately, tends to lead to a little bit more power allowed. Paul DeJong.
All right, Paul DeJong. I mean, you needed a semi-long shot, so there you have it. Cal Raleigh, I'm calling it now, by the way. Cal Raleigh, first plate appearance home run today. This is an early game too, Josh. This is a 1 o'clock game for the Phillies, so we will know.
And you're calling this one right out of the gate?
I'm not just calling a home run. I'm calling a Cal Raleigh first at bat home run against Jesus Lazardo.
By the way, Charles O'Brien, the last message I saw from him said Juan Soto at plus 350 today. So we've got Juan Soto at plus 350 for chat. We've got you, away team only, plus 235 for Cal Raleigh. I am at plus 600 for Paul DeJong, which if I get it right, I will pass you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Assuming I get mine wrong.
Correct. Yes, I can't catch you if you get your home run right, no matter what happens.
We have 3 days left. Chat has some ground to make up, but it's not over. It's not over yet, but they do have some ground to make up. And of course, even if chat doesn't win at the end of the 2-week period, Charles you could be in a position to grab a free week of The Sims today. Yes, thank you, Ron, in chat. We have mentioned this to people, but sometimes it gets lost. If you won something, make sure you take a screenshot of it saying that it's you, saying you won for the support. So that's what people have done. Like where it says right there with Nightbot, just take a shot of your screen right now so you can send that over to Ron.
I have a question for you, and this is something that we have not talked about yet, and as far as I know, it hasn't come up. I want to get your thoughts. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Should we double count if someone hits more than one home run? For example.
No, I thought about this yesterday.
Okay. Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Are you saying that because you are comfortably in first and don't want to allow for more points?
No, I thought about it yesterday.
Okay.
Because it's just not part of the way things are. So if you want to go ahead and take a guy for 2 home runs, go for it. Take him at 15-1. But no, you can't just. I thought about that too. I did.
Okay.
Actually, yesterday I thought about it, but I don't think it makes sense.
I should add a must hit 2 home runs sliver. You got to take the.
That's a good one. Let's add that.
Okay. Okay. I want to get that out there now because when Paul DeJong hits 2 today, I want to know that I'm not getting double points.
No, you're not getting double points. Plus, would you just stack those odds, or would you have to go back and find what is to hit 2 home run? You would just go 2
See,
plus 6.
I'm saying like I would just get I would get 600. I would get 6 twice. Not right. Today he's 70-1 to hit 2 of them. Like that would be insane. But I think the bonus of hitting a second one and getting those odds again was a reasonable stance.
I get it. But as Steven pointed out, and that's how I'm looking at it, Steven, it's the same sense that when you place a bet, you don't get paid for 2 home runs if you bet them to hit 1. So that's the way I see it. All right, that's fun. A couple people in chat mentioned if you call them to hit 2 home runs, I'm fully on board with that. But again, then you should just, if that's the case, pre-flop you call 2 home runs, then what you should be able to do is actually get the odds for 2 home runs. Because you'll know. I mean, if you ever want
to take the 70-1 that's showing up right now, I mean, you're always free to do that.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. If you want to do that, I don't actually hate it, and here's why. Yeah, let's make that a rule. Because let's say you are far behind.
Yeah.
And you need some type of out. And like a double dong Shohei Ohtani game could get you there. I'm fully on board with it. However, if they only hit 1, you don't get points for that 1. You only get points if they hit both.
Completely agree. The funny thing is,
you're muted.
For the criteria that I have for today, I actually wouldn't have even been able to do that if I needed to, because I am firmly locked into 450 to 600. So I could, like, even if I needed to swing for the fences, I have no fence to swing for today.
Oh, that's a good call. Yeah. Okay. But if you were to land like a plus 800 or longer, you could go Ohtani 2 home runs or something like that. All right. I like that.
What's the Cal Raleigh 2 home run line?
It's probably like 8-1, 9-1.
What's your guess? I have it here.
Oh, wow. No, I looked already. 18-1.
Yeah.
You know, that actually makes sense.
I was just trying to fucking goad you into taking it for no reason.
Nah, I don't really need it right now.
You have no reason whatsoever.
I can't wait to do this for football, where we can grab like 2 touchdown props.
Yeah, 100-yard receiving, 100-yard rushing, 100 and a tutty. There's so many defensive and special teams touchdown. 3 field goals.
My big claim to fame the one day I actually threw that bet out on a video is a Jets defensive touchdown at like 15-1. And we all went wild when that hit. But yes, football is going to give us a lot of opportunities. Like ladder a guy up to 100 plus receiving, or, alt line 100 plus receiving, 100 plus rushing, 300 plus passing.
It's going to be good.
Can't wait for that. Anyway,
I can't wait till the football season's over.
Can you recap the current leaderboard and the picks today before we get out of here?
Yes. For this current 2-week stretch, Loughy in the lead, 13.7 points. I am in second with 8.3 points. Chat, we're slightly falling behind, 5.25, but that could all be fixed quite quickly. For today, Loughy had away team only, takes Cal Raleigh at plus 235. I have odds must be between plus 450 and plus 600. I took Paul DeYoung at plus 600. And chat, the representative was favorite team only. They had to be favored in the game. Juan Soto at plus 350.
Paul DeYoung, 2+ homers, dude. I know you can't take it today, but 70 to 1.
I'll take one. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'll take one. You won't get yours.
It would actually be dumb of you to take 2 today.
Yeah, I mean, what the fuck do I need 70 points for?
Exactly. You don't. For 2 homers, I would just much rather always take the really good players, like a Schwarber or a Raleigh or an Ohtani or something, because, otherwise you're just in trouble. But hey, appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in as always. Have a great rest of the day. Good luck on this early slate. I want to finalize these lineups as we jump onto this call right now. 12:35 start. Keep an eye on that weather. I think we'll be okay. Live before lock tonight with Greg and Eric for the main slate. Follow Josh on Tails. Check out his home run cheat sheets. Me at Lafayette, right there. First link in the description. Click that. Takes a second to sign up. All the picks and bets are free all NFL season, including preseason. More games tomorrow. And I've got a video coming out very shortly. So stick around, hop over there, follow both of us. Check everybody else out on the platform. There's some sharp people over there as well. And we'll see you back here for the next one. Bye-bye.